Handle that type of pressure. Any coach in the country will tell you, if you can handle that initial pressure at 94 feet and be able to get it past, three quarters, you can shoot layups, and you can have a lot of fun when you're shooting layups.
It was interesting. Both coaches yesterday at practices were talking about who's going to throw the first punch and who's going to throw the last punch, figuratively speaking, of course.
Well, Krista Gerlich said, I think we're just going to be punching all night long, both of us.
Yeah, really. And they got to be consistent on that if they want to win. Going inside, shot won't go down for Madison Francis, the talented freshman, getting her first start. Chris from the outside buries the three.
Well, Mississippi State, they don't shoot a ton of threes, average about 15 a game, but they're shooting exceptionally well, 42% on the season so far.
Here is from the outside, Jalynn Bristow off the back of the iron. Prater goes for the rebound, whistling. You got to get out on her. 70% of her shots are threes. And going back to last year, it was also 70% of her shots from beyond the arc.
Well, Texas Tech can't give up that many second chance opportunities. That's a great find down low, working multiple sides of the floor. Texas Tech offensive rebounds. They want to limit Mississippi State to less than 10 in this game.
Well, favorite Dozie on one end, and Texas Tech comes back and answers. They get their first points of the game. Coach Purcell says he's talked to his team a lot. Opportunity is the key word. They have a motto from the outside. No, it's drive, determination, resilience, impact, virtuousness, and excellence. Here's Maupin coming off a solid game. Got it. Talking to Bailey yesterday and again today, she grasped this opportunity of this game today.
Her determination, and that play right there where she was able to attack the paint, but Mississippi State pounding it into the paint right now.
Let's talk about Texas Tech's keys to the game, Rachel.
Well, I mean, we're going to talk about it all night long. Rebound, rebound, rebound. I think that is the absolute key to this game. Like I said, they want to limit Mississippi State to less than 10 offensive rebounds, and they've got to play with their foot on the gas for 40 minutes. No lulls in the third quarter, no lulls at certain points of the game. They have got to play aggressive for 40 minutes.
Wade Dozie's strong move to the hole.
This is going to be a very physical game. I expect a lot of free throws in this one.
13 points and 12.8 boards. Gets the second.
Right now, that we call it the dome. I don't know where I'm from, but they had the dome in these rims literally all week in practice preparing for this one tonight.
That is a strong move inside for Jalynn Bristow. Comes in averaging over 16 points a ball game. Career high numbers across the board for the junior out of Holiday, Texas. Whistle and a foul. Fans don't like it.
Especially when it comes to Mississippi State. They feel like at times they have the advantage with their ability to get downhill. Not even just in transition when they can push pace, but in the half court with some certain matchups, they feel like they can get downhill, attack the paint, get themselves to the free throw line.
3 of their 4 games, they have shot over 50. Here's Crisp at the line, averaging just about 6 points a ball game. Transfer from UTSA has been a big impact. Missed the first game of the year. Inside, Collins, no. That's a good matchup, Collins against the freshman, Francis. Madison Francis, the freshman from Lancaster, New York, tied for number 4 in the NCAA in blocks. Krista Gerlich spent a lot of time prepping for this game. Mississippi State last played Thursday.
The energy and the smiles and the joy around that program, it is infectious to be around.
Richardson gives it up in the corner, the 3, no. Prater dishes inside, and Francis, the freshman, is there. For the last 3 games, Francis has averaged almost 13 points a game. Jada Malone had the position, is not going to be able to finish.
Some of these veteran players, especially for Texas Tech, they've got to be able to adapt and adjust and stay on the court.
King buries the 3. Nice move, Love. Gives it up. Collins plants it, launches, no. Into the hands of King. Only her second game played. First game of the year was the last game they played. Lampley can't get it. They boxed out, but nobody decided to pick up Richardson.
And what they want to do in the half court, but from the rebounding. That's the biggest story. Offensive rebounds and how Texas Tech has given up.
Solid rebounding team. Deep in the corner, King lets it fly. No. Malone fights for it, lost it. That's the hustle play that could make difference in this game. You got to get, if you're Texas Tech, you're both teams, you got to get those 50-50
Just being able to secure that. Malone is going to be such a key part in that. Got to make sure she stays out of foul trouble in particular as Collins I like how aggressive she's being from the start. It is a luxury.
And they challenged Collins to take it strong. Here is Collins, didn't play last season. But because she wasn't in the portal, there's an SEC rule that you can't take a player like that. And that allowed Krista Gerlich to get her here at Texas Tech. Dribble penetration on the drive. That's just a breakdown.
Well, it's just too easy to be able to throw that type of diagonal pass. That is their bread and butter.
That's going to be a travel.
And let's be honest, neither of these teams have gone against this type of competition.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, Mississippi State's winning that battle. It's got Texas Tech a little bit rattled here early and often. It'll be interesting how they settle into this one offensively. I just feel like they're kind of second-guessing themselves in the half court.
Madison Francis again, the freshman. Here's Collins. Texas Tech, they get the two they needed that. No field goals the last 350 on their 4 baskets made.
Well, they're not off to a horrible start offensively outside of some of those early turnovers.
And Sanaya King will go to the free throw line. Last year at Howard averaged 11.5, 4.5 assists a game. She's got that field division all great point guards have.
She's got a massive opportunity this year, and he just really feels like the way she attacked the weight room this offseason. She was first in all of their conditioning tests. He's been so impressed with her so far through the offseason and into now.
Again, one and done. No offensive rebounds for Texas Tech in this game. And you talked at the top of the show, that is a big key. Here's Francis being guarded by Collins. Tries to force her left. Takes it to the right side and got it. And Francis has a half a dozen, and Krista Gerlich's going to call a timeout.
That the Lady Raiders really, rely on. They have not gotten clean looks that they're used to getting.
12 points in the paint for Mississippi State. Tech opponents, 2 of the last 3 have had 30 points in the paint. Collins, one shot again, won't go down. And that's going to be an offensive foul. What Mississippi State has is Carissa Richardson at the line. You mentioned she played in the SEC the previous 3 seasons. And gets the second one to go down in the first. This will be the first time this season that Texas Tech trailed at the end of the first quarter. Bristow inside. Nice dish from Jalynn Bristow to Jada Malone.
Well, and that all started because Jada Malone set a highly effective screen.
Chris being guarded by Frisk, who's done a nice job defensively, and she'll be whistled for the foul. She was coached by her mom in high school. Here's Chris.
Sister, a 5-star recruit, slated to go to LSU.
Kim Mulkey's happy with that.
Very talented family.
I'd say so. Glad you're with us here in Lubbock, Texas. After a major dust storm blew through about 3 o'clock. The Mississippi State people were cracking up laughing at that one. On the drive, Sydney Love, no. Final 4 seconds, they got an opportunity to get a shot. Chris lets it fly for 3, got it!
Yeah, you just had the feeling that that one was going down there for Mississippi State.
And Ernie Johnson, the legendary host of TNT, we kid ourselves about those cards. I still have about 1,000 of them.
I was 2.
Stop it. That's just pulled the knife out of the heart. So let's see how Texas Tech can start this first couple minutes of quarter number 2 inside Bristow. That's how they started the opening 10 minutes.
Well, I can guarantee you Krista Gerlich challenged them in that timeout. They've got to ramp it up defensively.
That's going to be a travel. I mean, it's kind of fun seeing these 2 teams meet. It's only the second meeting in their history.
When you look around right here and the greatness we're surrounded by just in this arena, on this campus with Texas Tech, you're exactly right. And I told Coach Gerlich, this is what it's all about right now, and that is a huge sigh of relief. Not just for the season, but in a smaller graph, this game tonight and how much this game means. So I personally definitely want to see how this team responds to that really tough first quarter.
How about that by Collins? Couldn't get the rebound, but she tapped it to herself. The lead is still 10. The lead was 15.
One thing to pay attention to, Gemma Nunez back in the game with 2 fouls.
Bristow, now they switch. She's picked up by McFall. Bristow should take advantage of that mismatch. The handoff, Nunez, tough shot inside, gets the bounce. Emma Nunez with her first field goal of the evenings. Richardson backs in, little right-handed hook, no. Collins having a big impact again, already her 4th rebound. Danae Fritz can't get it.
Another one at the rim. Listen, if there's a target, you gotta go. I mean, come on.
That's my man there.
But that's a man with a lot of women in his life, taking his team to target. Great. Come up with a steal out of Bristow. That is not what Sam Purcell drew up at that timeout.
No. And you know, when you get down like this, you want your stars to make those big plays. Inside of 4 minutes to play, Mississippi State yet to score here in the second. Prater, the pull-up jumper, got it.
Oh, that's tough. That is tough. You get her going same amount of time. This is a big possession right now. Talking about momentum and playing these next 2.5 minutes smartly, giving yourself some momentum before you head into halftime.
Jada Malone on the right block. Nice move up and under, uses the left hand. Malone got her second field goal of the night. Last 2 games, Malone 10 and 9 points. She is now just 2 points away from 500 her career, and Tech will have it with 2:08.
These teams are very evenly matched, from blocks to three-point shooting percentage to turnovers.
Mississippi State just 1 of 10 shooting here in the second. Sydney Love with the banker. And the lead has been cut down to 4. It was as big as 15.
Texas Tech on a 13-2 run, and that is going to be another offensive foul, and Sam Purcell is not happy.
That's going to be on Richardson. That'll be her second personal foul. So Wadozie and Richardson from Mississippi State both now playing with 2 fouls. Whew. Sam's going to go to his bench, I think, on this one. Wasn't like that in the first couple of years. Makes up for other people's mistakes on defense.
Right, what she means by that is just whether it's backside, whether it's just making a play, whether it's blocking a shot. Yes, I said blocking a shot. Maupin can do that. She's so smart and heady on the backside of a play. She can make up for other people's mistakes, as you said. And
Malone with 1 on the shot clock. And it is a 2-point game. King out front running the point. Final 30 seconds of the second. King from 15. It goes 13. Tech has it with a chance to tie. Shot clock turned off. Bristow back into the lineup. 6-0 run for the Lady Raiders. A chance to tie or take the lead. Final 15 seconds of the second. Love out front. Makes the move with 7. Works off the pick. Back on top. Bristow for the lead. Love fights for it. That's the way the first half is going to come to an end.
Listen, that's a great job by Mississippi State, securing that, not allowing a second chance.
I don't think I've ever seen her smile as much. And I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but
no, I don't
she's
think
having a good time. This whole team, though, very close. All these seniors know they're in their final year. They know it's do or die time.
Well, and Jalynn talked to me directly about that. She said, listen, I know I'm not a senior. Obviously, I'm a junior, just now entering my upperclassman year. That's a stop there for Texas Tech. This team to get back to the NCAA tournament, to make noise in the Big 12. She feels it as well, and she wants to be great for them.
That foul was on Mississippi State, and again, Texas Tech, they've never led in this game. Malone on top. Fritz for the lead. Nice rebound pulled away by Richardson.
That is good patience there by Malone on the block to not get rushed with her back to the basket and let that play. And Danae Fritz cut. That is a great clean look. But again, the 3-ball not going very much tonight for Texas Tech. That is 1 for 10 tonight.
Go inside, count it. Nice job by Wadozie. 3 double-doubles already in 2026. 48 three-pointers for Texas Tech coming into the game, and there's a block we've been waiting for. Wadozie with the rejection.
That coming into this game was something we talked about ad nauseum with both of these teams. Mississippi State 7th in the country. They average just under 8 blocks a game. Texas Tech tied for 11th in the country. They average just under 7 tonight. We've only seen 2.
And that was Mississippi State's first. Bristow comes out of the pack. Quickly up. Beautiful pass inside. Count it.
That's what you want to see out of Jalynn Bristow.
Bristow with 3 assists in the ball game. She leads Tech in that category. That should be an offensive foul, and it will be. And that should be number 3 on Richardson.
Not just to control the pace and be a primary playmaker for Texas Tech, but to be so smart and heady and disruptive on momentum plays like that.
Richardson did pick up her 3rd personal foul. Coach Purcell is going to stay with her. Here's Collins, goes baseline. The reverse, got it. Working on Richardson, knowing she has 3.
I want to see more of that from Snudda Collins, being aggressive off the dribble. She's got to continue to attack the basket. There's nobody, I say it every game, there's nobody in this gym that can guard Snudda Collins off the dribble.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Prater. And that'll be her 4th personal foul.
We did not see this level of intensity from a defensive standpoint in that first quarter, right?
There's Collins up front. She can take anybody off the dribble. Nice job defensively, though, by Dozy. Francis has to give it up. Benet off the glass, got it. The junior out of Senegal via Penola College.
That is a much-needed bucket from the Bulldogs.
Here's Bristow. Shot clock inside of 10. Game clock closing in on 5 to play in the 3rd. Nunez to Collins. Collins with 3. Collins with 2. Bristow launches. Got it at the buzzer.
That is a dagger. Phenomenal defense, but that is even better composure from Texas Tech to not get rattled right down at the final seconds to get that high percentage shot. That is just the 2nd 3-ball to go down tonight.
First lead of the game, and then it goes right back to Mississippi State.
Don't be surprised. They're going to continue to attack the paint, attack the rim off the dribble.
And Collins working hard on the freshman, Francis. Nice job defensively by Madison Francis. Another one with a big wingspan, 6'5", and the pull-up.
That is tough. That is.
Francis has 8 in the ball game. Last 3 games, she's averaged almost 13 at contact. Malone way out on the wing. Bristow again for 3. Doesn't get the bounce. Dozy the rebound.
It's been very
Number 9.
Really clean looks that Tech is getting from the 3-point line. They just can't get them to go down.
And then banging inside. Favor Dozy.
Mississippi State just inserting their will at the rim.
Texas Tech just 3 of 11 here in the 3rd. Malone has it rejected by Dozy. Malone this time inside with the left hand, can't get it. Bristow got it back. Pump fake, hangs in the air, draws contact and the foul. Dozy goes out. Richardson playing with 3 personal fouls. Picked up her 3rd about 4 minutes ago, and here is Bristow. 13 points in the ball game.
It's like all of a sudden there's a lid on the rim for Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Just one of their last 8.
And Mississippi State, they're on a 6-0 run. The lead is 4. It was 15 at the end of the first quarter of play for Mississippi State. Nunez just being a pest out front on McFall. The 3. Collins the rebound. You got to get out on Finet. 6 of her 11 shots were 3s. Inside, Maupin for the 2. That stops a 3.5-minute scoring drought for the Lady Raiders. Crisp on the drive. That looked like a travel before the foul.
We watched him in shoot around and in practice. They had all sorts of people trying to pressure him on defense.
Crisp hit the stripe. She's got 10 in the ball game. Make it 11.
Just that lack of fluidity in the game right now. That's adversity within itself.
Tech prides themselves on a flow of a game. Final 10 seconds. Maupin hands off. Love with 6. Jada Malone working inside. The reverse. The follow. Caught it. Jalynn Bristow cleans it up. And that's the way the 3rd quarter will come to an end.
Like you said, we know this game has major implications, not just for the caliber of win that it is, but long term.
Now, Texas Tech has not spent a lot of time at the free throw line. It doesn't surprise you. Mississippi State plus 14 attempts on the season over their opponent. They're +4 today on the drive. Malone's got it. Counted. The basket counts, and we're tied.
It's just a great job of just reading the basketball and just coming up with an opportunity.
Well, the problem with that also is Dozie picked up her 4th. So Dozie has 4, and Prater has 4. And they're going to give the ball still to Mississippi State. McCoy taking away.
Yeah, you got Prater and Dozie. Those are two of your arguably most looked at players. That's going to be a 10-second violation. Mississippi State was not able to get it over half court in time. I'm telling you that you can just feel the energy shift on that side of the ball when they're just really being disruptive and just taking you out of what you want to do.
Great job, Prater fouling Maupin around. She goes with a reverse. Counted.
It's gut check time. Who's going to have the guts this 4th quarter?
Francis dumps it down inside. Shot clock at 14. Maupin picks the pocket.
Great play on the basketball. Unbelievable play. And being able to get back in transition and make a play and block the shot like that, that's going to be a foul on Malone.
I thought Malone looked like she had pretty good position, but a foul is going to be called. But you got to give Destiny McFall a lot of credit. Good job making that contact.
Well, Bailey Maupin pleading her case. She said, you're going to call it down here. You're not going to call it down there.
And Jimenez is going to go out. Going to go ahead and bring in Richardson. Richardson playing with 3 personal fouls. And at the line, it's going to be Destiny McFall, the redshirt senior out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She has 8 siblings. She should average a bunch of assists. Averages 2.5.
3 brothers, 5 sisters. She said to me before the game, I love playing in transition. Just the lefty playmaker, like you said, makes everybody around her better. She said, you know what, my team goes as I go. I've got to be very good.
And Bristow draws the contact on Francis.
And they're 6 of 9, shooting 67%.
Well, Jada Malone goes at it again. Francis, she has 4.
Prater with 4, Richardson with 4, and Dozie with 4. So definitely a lot of foul trouble right now with a lot of time left on this clock for Mississippi State.
Yeah, they did give that not to Francis, but to Richardson. Still belongs to the Bulldogs.
And that's what Krista Gerlich wanted to do. She wanted to get deep into Mississippi State's bench.
Well, Nunez doing a good job. They make him get inside of 10 on the shot clock. She's just poking away at the ball. The loss comes up into the hands of Bristow. 2 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Nunez so crafty on the outside, averaging over 5 assists a ball game. Maupin, they switch on her. Bristow with a pump fake. The stop. Nice job, Francis, with a rejection. That is her first block of the ball game. Gets tied up. That's going to be an offensive foul. That'll be on Francis. Now that is her 4th.
How tough is Bailey Maupin? It wasn't a turnover, but a stop to turn into an easy basket. Another huge defensive play by the senior.
Nunez working off the pick. Collins rolls. Nunez quickly picked up by Richardson. That was a mismatch. Francis with 4 fouls with the ball. And another turnover. That is the 20th turnover for Mississippi State. Maupin, beautiful pass to Collins. Count it.
15 points.
How about this pass, though? I think it's an underhand.
It's like a bowling ball.
It was.
Looks like me in the bowling league. Goodness.
Boy, my goodness.
I'm not in a bowling league, by the way.
You know, I called the PBA a couple years. Francis with 4 fouls. The scoop. What a shot by the rookie.
How pretty is that?
She goes to double digits. But the best story about her, she was being recruited by Sam Purcell. After her visit, she says, I want to have to pray about it. She was on another recruiting visit and saw a billboard. It said, call Sam, 1-800.
1-800 call Sam, and her and her family just continued to see this billboard.
And they called Sam. Fritz, no, outside. Nunez with the save.
You're getting into the part of the game now where understanding time and score, really being careful with shot selection. You still want to be aggressive. Those are the types of shots I'm not liking out of Texas Tech, are those contested 15 to 17-foot mid-range.
I'll tell you what, though, keep an eye on number 40. Francis is impressive. She is going to be a big time.
And just so everyone knows, I had said before, Richardson had 4 fouls. That was the foul that went to Francis, so Richardson now just with 3.
And that's big. And Richardson picked up that third in the third quarter. Now the lead is down to 1. Mississippi State led by 15 at the end of the first. Biggest lead for Texas Tech has been 5. Collins with 7 to shoot. Jump stop, the turn, got it. Prater had good position, but Collins knocked it down.
I mean, I bet this game is in the 60s. The game would be in the 60s if both of these teams were hitting their shots at the rim.
McFall with a scoop. Beautiful shot by Destiny McFall. Malone communicating with Maupin verbally. Tech worked on that a lot at practice yesterday. Nunez, no place to go, needs a little help. Maupin back door, pump fake, got it. Maupin in double figures with 11.
Great read by Hema Nunez, understanding off of that pick and roll action. There was nothing on the backside, but just her pulling it back for a second allowed Bailey Maupin to go back door on being overplayed.
The double clutch, no. Shot won't go down by Richardson. Closing it on 3 to play in the ball game. Collins, baseline, hasn't got it. Collins.
Literally give it to her every time. Prater's got 4. She can be aggressive off the dribble and attack the rim every single time.
5-point advantage, the 3 out of the way, no. Malone fights for it, rebound pulled away by Prater, and Bailey Maupin coaching her up after that second or third game. Here's Chandler Prater. What a special young lady. She hosts a youth basketball camp in Kansas City. She can give back, and she does. It's been a pleasure watching her ever since her freshman year in the Big 12. Tech, no fouls to give. Mississippi State has a foul to give. Bristow in and out. Fritz fights for it, tied up, possession arrow, Mississippi State with 2:23 left.
Understand time and score, work the possession, work the clock, and get a high percentage shot. Don't turn it over.
Nunez with the steal. Prater to beat, doesn't get it, Maupin does.
Maupin, I talked to her before the game. I looked at her, I said, how many rebounds you getting tonight, Bailey? And she didn't even hesitate. Within 2 seconds, said 10. She's up to 8.
And a whistle and a foul. And here is Prater again at the free throw line. Again, Francis is fouled out. Prater and Wadozie with 4 for Mississippi State. Nobody in any kind of foul trouble for Texas Tech. 70 seconds left in regulation. Nunez. Maupin. 2 dribbles, backs it out with 8 to shoot. Collins will launch. Collins buries the 3.
She wanted that one. Her feet were ready. She was calling for it.
The 3, no. Rebound, and it gets the bounce. And a timeout's going to be called by the Bulldogs.
Handle this pressure, Texas Tech. Only 12 turnovers on this game.
Now, one of the things they're not doing, Wadozie is not guarding the inbounds pass. Collins actually beat everybody down the court, and that's going to be an intentional foul. They immediately called that.
There's not even going to be a discussion.
No, won't be a discussion
on this.
that.
And Bailey Maupin is in control.
She is an 83% career free throw shooter. And we'll have another.
Mississippi State's got to go quickly here. Very, very quickly.
where you get the same situation.
Teaching points in those types of situations. I still don't think Sam Purcell's happy with that call. It has been.
Maupin gets it in to Nunez, and that'll be a touch foul.
Give yourself a chance to get back in this game.
Now, we were talking at the top of the show as Nunez extends the lead. Who would throw the first punch and who would throw the last punch in this game? And Texas Tech in this fourth quarter, they've outscored Mississippi State by 9.
They gotta go quickly to the rim.
Crisp launches, no. Maupin's got it. Final 30 seconds, and Bailey will go back to the line.
There were those lulls, right? There were some moments where there wasn't a lot of momentum really for any team. A little bit of energy here this second half. I think they fed off it tremendously. You had both Texas Tech and Mississippi State in that group. Listen, I know it's November. It's way too early to be talking about bracketology, but
the game's not over yet.
we will be talking about this game come March.
Now McFall with the 3, and they're just going to play this out. We'll let the crowd tell you the final score. Texas Tech with the win.